We have a wonderful show planned for you tonight. It's always a wonderful show when we have Arthur Siegel here. It is a great joy to bring back to Jan Wallmans this marvelous guy. We are very proud to present Mr. Arthur Siegel.
You're gonna hear no songs from Phantom, nothing from Les Mis, so you can imagine what kind of show this is. I will do old songs from movies and shows. Maybe there'll be some that nobody knows. Nothing from the top 10, no rock and roll. I hope you weren't expecting gospel or soul. Just lots of melody, so old that it may seem new. And I hope you'll have a good time, 'cause this time it's all for you. Yeah. Well, you know what you're in for now. And I'm going to start things off by telling you about a wonderful show that I saw back in 1943. The score was by Fats Waller, the lyrics by George Marion Jr., and I never got over it. I loved it so. It was a big hit. It was called Early to Bed. It is one of those classic musicals, but it was such fun. And I was furious when they did Ain't Misbehavin', that wonderful show that featured the music of Fats Waller. They left these two songs out. Then I hear when they revived Ain't Misbehavin', Nell Carter did one of these in that revival because she recorded this with me in a Ben Bagley album. Anyway, here are two songs from Early to Bed, Fats Waller's wonderful tunes, and George Marion Jr.'s lyrics really express how I feel about all you lovely people here tonight. This is so nice, it must be illegal, meeting you once more. Feeling so good, it could be against the law. This is an age that curbs all our pleasures. Who knows what's in store? This is so nice, there must be a hidden flaw. Now all you gentlemen, I notice that you're so broad of shoulder. Women young and older fall in flocks. And you lovely ladies, note in your attraction, Congress may take action. Keep you underground at Fort Knox. Quick, let us kiss before it's illicit. It could happen here. This is so nice, it must be illegal, dear. Now if I seem too analytic, here is the answer. Mother was a dancer who was frightened by a critic. So in these words I have to say, hereditary caution has a part to play. You're only slightly less than wonderful. You're on the verge of being marvelous. With just the smallest of publicity booms, your name will be known in bars, boudoirs, and powder rooms. I'd almost rate you with the tops in town. Those pin-up guys will try to pin you down. And don't forget my pet, we've only just recently met. But if I judge you rightly, dear, you're only slightly less than wonderful. I think I'm on the brink of buying you mink to drag on the ground or wrap around you when you slink. Within the elemental forces surge. Are you allergic to that orgy urge? Must I with deep regret let etiquette guide me as yet and say to you politely, dear, you're only slightly less than wonderful. Thank you. Well, you know, tomorrow, of course, is Thanksgiving, and I can't let that go by without doing something about it. Irving Berlin, of course, wrote a lovely little song in Holiday Inn about Thanksgiving, so I thought I could do that. I've got plenty to be thankful for. Haven't got a great big yacht to sail from shore to shore. Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for. I've got plenty to be thankful for. I haven't got no private car. Suddenly this is all slipping down. Isn't that embarrassing? I've got plenty. Now, you know I use music and lyrics in front of me. At my age, the memory is, somebody once said, excuse me for interrupting this song. It's not such a deathless song anyway. But I wanted to tell you that somebody once said that they thought they had Alzheimer's disease because they were kidding about it because they couldn't remember anything. They said, I think I have Alzheimer's disease. And Louise Lasser was there and she said, if you can say it, you don't have it. I've got plenty to be thankful for. No private car, no caviar, no carpet on my floor. Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for. I've got eyes to see with, ears to hear with, arms to hug with, lips to kiss with, someone to adore. How could anybody ask for more? My needs are small, I buy them all at the 5 and 10 cent store. Oh, I've got plenty to be thankful for. See with, ears to hear with, arms to hug with, lips to kiss with, someone to adore. How could anybody ask for more? I look at you, each time I do, my spirits quickly soar. Oh, I've got plenty to be thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving. Winter is coming, and soon there will be frost on the moon. Snow will be falling, and what am I gonna do? I'll need somebody to hold, someone to hold when I'm cold, someone to love, and I hope that someone is you. The sun will shine in the summer, and I'll be fine in the summer. But then I gotta have you to cuddle up to when winter comes. It's nice and warm in the summer, and I'll be in form in the summer. But then I gotta have you to cuddle up to when winter comes. All summer I'll be playing out on a tennis court, but in the winter, just like the groundhog, I'll turn into an indoor sport. I'll pull an oar in the summer and hug the shore in the summer. But then I gotta have you to cuddle up to when winter comes. All summer I'll be playing out on a tennis court, but in the winter, just like the groundhog, I'll turn into an indoor sport. I'll the summer, but then I gotta have you to cuddle up to when winter comes. I can weather the storm if I have my love to keep me warm when winter comes. Thank you, Joe. Well, of course, that was Irving Berlin's lovely little song from a movie in 1939 called Second Fiddle. And since we're on Irving Berlin, I'd like to tell you the first complete score that he wrote for Broadway was a show called Watch Your Step in 1914. And it was a very big hit. It starred the Castles, Vernon and Irene Castle, full of wonderful dancing. It was more like a review, although there was a thread of a story keeping it together. But mostly there were great dance numbers that Irene Castle did and Vernon Castle. And in fact, Irene Castle didn't even have a part. She just came out whenever there was a dance number. And there were wonderful songs in the score. All of them lost to us, except one. One became a very big hit, and years later, it became all popular all over again and stayed a standard. And that's Won't You Play a Simple Melody? That's the big standard from Watch Your Step. It's the only song that became a standard. But here's a charming little song that I just loved. Oh, I didn't see the show, by the way. But I always loved the songs. Here's one of them that's just charming. History proves since the world first began, wonderful things have been discovered by man. Though to discover has not been my plan, I'm a discoverer too. Though I know my name won't be known to fame, this much is true. Columbus discovered America. Hudson discovered New York. Benjamin Franklin discovered the spark that Edison discovered would light up the dark. Marconi discovered the wireless telegraph across the ocean blue. But the greatest discovery was when you discovered me and I discovered you. Discovery was when you discovered me and I discovered you. Thank you. Irving Berlin wrote a wonderful song. Well, he wrote several wonderful songs for Fred Astaire. You know, his most sophisticated and marvelous songs were from the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies. But here's one that you don't hear too much, but it's typically Fred Astaire and wonderful. I haven't ambitions for lofty positions that wind up with the wealth of the land. I give you the throne that a king sat on for just a small baton, providing you included a band. If I could be the wealthy owner of a large industry, I would say, not for me, I'd rather lead a band. If I could be a politician with a chance to dictate, I would say, let it wait, I'd rather lead a band. My every care ceases, I'm rich rich as old creases when I've got 10 pieces in hand. If I could have a million heirs with a whole flock of banks, I would just whisper thanks. I'd rather lead a band. Saxophone, slide trombone, a bass fiddle and a drum, a guy at the piano who makes it a violin, clarinet, a hot trumpet and guitar, and me with the baton, and there you are. Yes, sir, and not a thing lesser. To be that professor is grand. If Josephine had left Napoleon and climbed in my lap, I'd say go back to nap. I'd rather lead a band. I'd rather lead a band. I'd rather lead a band. Yeah. One more little Irving Berlin song that I always loved, his sort of country and western kind of melody. And it was written for a movie, that same movie, Second Fiddle, that I did that other song from, and When Winter Comes. And this one was done in the movie by Mary Healy. Now, not many of you remember Mary Healy. This was her big break. This was her first movie, and then she married Peter Lynn Hayes, and remember the team, Peter Lynn Hayes and Mary Healy, on radio and television for years. Well, she's retired now, but she was a lovely lady, and she sang this song in Second Fiddle in 1939. And I love this song, and I think it's a darling lyric that I think, well, yeah, I'm sure you've heard this song. It's not one of the rarest, but it's a, let me see, yes, I guess. I'm sorry for myself, so sorry for myself. Someone I love said goodbye, and no one's sorry for me, that is why I'm so sorry for myself. I'm blue as I can be. My gal walked out on me. I'd go home and end it all, but 14 stories is an awful fall. I'm so sorry for myself. I'm feeling mighty sad. I never looked so bad. I have lost my appetite. I couldn't eat my second steak last night. I'm so sorry for myself. So very blue am I. I wish that I could die. I wish I had a nasty cough. I'd buy a gun, but then it might go off. I'm sorry for myself. I soon could end my woes down where the river flows. I would jump right in the sea, but no one may be there to rescue me. I'm so sorry for myself. Thank you very much. Before we leave Irving Berlin, of course, one of his greatest songs is Always. Well, did you know that Larry Hart, the great Lorenz Hart of Rodgers and Hart, wrote a parody of this song back in the 20s when it was a very big hit? Larry Hart wrote a wonderful parody that I guess he did it at parties. And I'd like to do it for you. The only thing you have to know, for those of you who are too young to remember who Paul Whiteman was, he had one of the biggest orchestras in the 30s and 20s and 30s, and he was a very big, fat man. That's all you have to know. I'll be loving you always, in both very big and small ways. Our love will be as grand as Paul Whiteman's band, and will weigh as much as Paul weighs always, in saloons and drab hallways. You are what I'll grab always. See how I dispense rhymes that are immense, but do they make sense? Not always. If you didn't like these songs I did, then stick around. You may possibly flip your lid from the songs I found to do in my second show. And I just want you all